Summer vacation. For many children and teens, this phrase conjures up images of hot, sunny days and vacations with the whole family to far-off places. But what happens when the summer ends and the reality of a new school year sets in? A large portion of our knowledge gained through the school year is lost over long summer breaks, and it must be retaught for weeks at the beginning of the school year, which wastes a lot of time that could be spent on new material. This puts students behind in that year's curriculum, and over many summers can add up to students being months or even years behind. There is a solution to this growing concern, and that is year-round schooling. Year-round schooling has many advantages. For one, students retain more of what they learn when they go to school year-round. The National Summer Learning Association shows that decades of research where it can take anywhere from 8 to 13 weeks at the beginning of the school year to make up for what was lost over the summer. Secondly, it lessens the achievement gap between students from poverty and students not from poverty. Studies show that disadvantaged students lose about 27% more learning in the summer months than their peers. This is because many times opportunities such as summer camps, enrichment programs, or summer tutoring are not available for families with low income. Finally, it has been shown that dropout rates decrease when students are in year-round school versus traditional school. The average dropout rate for traditional schools is at 5%. However, in year-round schools, that number drops to only 2%. As with anything, people are most comfortable with what they've always done, but that doesn't mean it's the best method. When you weigh the advantages of going to school year-round with the disadvantages that come from taking a long summer break, the choice is clear. We need to move forward with year-round schooling so that our kids are getting what they need. Thank you. All right, yeah, sure, you can drop all of these research and facts, but here's a question for you. When do kids get to be kids? How do you account for the fact that children have 18 years before they become an adult? Let them have summer vacation. Why can't kids be kids? That's a great question, and I agree with you. Kids do need to be kids. However, what makes a kid a kid? Harvard recently did a study where they found that school-age children tended to gain weight at a faster pace over the summer months than they did during the school year. That is because more time was spent watching TV and playing on devices than during the school year. So while we think that summer is going to be spent doing all of these outside activities and going swimming and riding bikes and playing and exploring, in reality, in this day and age, more and more kids are sitting in front of TVs and devices. That's not a kid being a kid. What schools allow going year-round is for educational opportunities to occur throughout the whole year, and smaller breaks throughout the year allow it to be a more focused and fun time. So now kids can be kids in summer, winter, spring, and fall. Year-round school, that's an awful idea. Like, who wants to do that? So, number one, summer is for playing. We are kids. We should not have to be going to school over the summer. It's hot. You've got the beaches. You've got vacations. You've got sleeping in. You're only going to be a kid once. The summers and working, that's for adults. Let us be kids and give us that right. Number two, if you want to go to school in the summer, what about the people who work over the summer? My brother, he has a job down at Chili's right now, and he's making buku bucks because he's able to get tips, he's able to work. He wouldn't be able to do that if he's going to school all the time. What about camps? Are we just going to shut all the camps down? Come on, people. There's a reason that we have been doing 9-month school years since the beginning of school. And that is for the simple fact that it works. I want to quote one of my favorite Disney characters, Lumiere from, or is it Cogsworth? It's one of those two, from Beauty and the Beast, who says, if it's not Baroque, don't fix it. Our system is not Baroque. We don't need to fix it. Studies have shown that students lose 2 months of reading skills over the summer and up to 2.6 months of math skills over the summer. How do you account for the amount of learning loss, and is our current system working? So yeah, like, well, I guess you would say because if they're going to, I mean, are they really losing that information? If they really learned it the first time, they wouldn't have lost it. So I would say maybe we're not teaching the way we think we are if the kids after 3 months haven't learned it. Like riding a bike. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you don't forget it. It should be the same with adding fractions. Once you learn how to add fractions, you shouldn't forget it, or maybe you didn't learn it in the first place. Originally, schools were off in the summer because there was no air conditioning and it became sweltering hot. In addition, a lot of the families in the cities would move out to the country during the summers. However, neither of those are the cases now, as we do have air conditioning and people in the city are not traveling out to the country as much. So what is your reason for continuing to close during the summer when those are no longer reasons? The reason we go to school for, I mean, that's like the reason we eat cereal for breakfast. I mean, really, we go to school for 9 months because my parents went to school for 9 months. And guess what? Their parents went to school for 9 months. Why are we just questioning the system just to question it? I mean, has it really been proven to work? I don't know. Has it been proven not to work? That is the question. My opponent has brought up a few points that I wanted to take the time to address with you. For starters, the idea that kids who are typically using the summer to go have jobs, to make money, to save money, to get to college, or to have that extra spending money will no longer get to, is a concern. However, I feel the benefits of year-round school outweigh the disadvantage of not being able to have summer jobs. And the reason is when we go to school year-round, we are lessening the dropout rate. We have from 5% to 2%. That's over 160,000 kids in the United States who are graduating who wouldn't have graduated had we had traditional schooling. So those 160,000 kids are now going to be earning $11,000 more every year because kids with a high school degree earn more money than kids who drop out. So yes, in the short term, we may have to make adjustments with what teenagers' work schedules look like, but in the long run, the economic benefit outweighs. It's also a concern for some that going to school year-round limits the ability for families to take vacation over the summer. But here's the thing, they will still have time off in the summer. It will be between 2 to 4 weeks that they get off in the summer. So they will still be able to go on vacation. However, they will also have the option to go on vacation in the winter or in the fall or in the spring. It will be spread out throughout our country, so not everybody is going to Disney World at the same exact time. Places will be less crowded. Families will be able to enjoy them more. So year-round school is not just good academically for our students, but it helps economically with our students being able to make more money when they graduate. It helps with financially as businesses are able to stay open throughout the year as opposed to only opening in the summer. So all in all, I feel that year-round school is still the best option. That's all we got to say. A little quote by Alice Cooper, school's out for summer. Not for fall, not for winter, not for spring, for summer. We need to go to the beaches. We need to go to camps. We need to have summer jobs. We need a break. We need to be kids. Kids need to be kids. That is my rebuttal. In conclusion, I'd like to reiterate that year-round school provides so many benefits. Students are retaining more information. There's less of an achievement gap between students in poverty and students not in poverty. Kids are happier, families are happier. The drawbacks of year-round school really comes down to us not knowing and wanting to stay in our comfort zone. But for the sake of our children, it's time that we step out of our comfort zone, follow where the research takes us, and use year-round schooling to drive us in the 21st century. Thank you so much. Wait, I thought my rebuttal was my closing statement.